Hello and welcome to the Insert Title Here podcast. I am your host, John McParland, and I'm here with my very special guest today, my firstborn, Melissa McParland. Hi, Melissa.
Thank you for the introduction. Never need another guest again after this.
Well, you say that, but I had you, and then I had two more.
Oh, God. Okay.
I literally brought two
remember,
additional guests into my house.
You know what's funny is I remember I had gone to, it was Girls State, Jersey Girls State when I was 16 or 17.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to introduce myself to a large group of people. So the first thing I said was, "Hi, my name's Melissa. I'm from New Jersey," which was stupid because it was Jersey.
Did you really say that? I'm from New Jersey? That's
really
awesome. Yeah, that's great.
And I said, and I've got two younger brothers, and as my father's mentioned to me before, the first pancake never turns out right. So here I am.
Oh, come on. Did you really say that? I can't believe you never told me that you said that.
I never told you that either.
That is so funny. But I never used that in reference to you.
No, I know. I know that. Well, maybe.
Oh, that's true. Maybe. You never know. I mean, I might have thrown that out at some point. It's something I might do.
Let me tell you, sometimes I look in the mirror some days and I'll be like, oh man, you know what? The first pancake never turns out right. And then it's a great way to just roll with the day.
Yeah, you slap a little butter and some syrup on it and you're,
exactly.
you're good to go. That's awesome. I love that's how you introduced yourself. And it was a really good recovery for I'm from New Jersey. Because everyone was just like, what the hell? We're all from New Jersey. It's called Jersey Girls State.
I remember I remember my face getting really hot after that.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Because I saw someone and they went, what? Like looking around, and it was just one person. I don't think anyone else registered. I don't think anyone else was actually listening to me. And then my face got really hot and I just said that. So I doubled down on the embarrassment.
Yeah.
Which that I think got from you.
The self-deprecation humor.
Of course.
Right.
Or something else that I still do that I got from you to blatantly try to embarrass the people that I'm with. Well, that's something I got from you.
Wait, what are you saying? That I'm always trying to just embarrass everyone that I'm hanging out with?
For me, growing up as in middle school, okay, I'm going to paint a picture for you because this is what I actually still do to this day. Imagine me at the age of 13 and we're going to the Pathmark that's in Elmwood Park down the street, right?
Yeah.
And we're just walking down the grocery aisles and you just go, let's skip. And you just start skipping. You would just start skipping down the aisle. And for a 13-year-old me was like, oh my God, stop. There's someone I know here. And now I do that to other people.
Of course. Yeah.
Where I'll be anywhere, I'll be like, and now we're skipping. And
now we're skipping. Well, because you know what? I mean, granted, doing that to a 13-year-old, I mean, obviously I was hitting you hard there at a very tender age, right? I mean, that's 13 for girls is just brutal times. Right.
But you gotta throw the fire though.
Yeah, but right, that's exactly right. You gotta rip off that Band-Aid, as it were. Right? You gotta
just make the pancake.
You gotta just make even if it means burning it.
It means burning it a little.
Yeah, wow. That's I actually do remember doing that, right? That's a good example because you're right, I would do things like that often. I thought you were gonna say how I like to do the double entendre things where I'll say something and then be like, wait, that's not what I meant. I can't believe you thought that's what I meant. Oh, that's terrible.
There were many a dinner time when you would do something like that.
Sure.
And I would just think, oh my God, thank God it's just the five of us here and no one else. But it got me every time. Every time I would laugh.
Right. Yeah, but then obviously you knew it was always coming from a warm heart. So it was never ever anything that kind of set you off in any kind of real way. So that's I think that's really important too, is that whenever you do something like that, you got to make sure of the audience, right? That it's not gonna,
I was about
you
to say
know,
know your audience.
know your audience is and I've always said that as well. It's so important to know who you're talking to, and as far as how you're going to go down a certain road with them, start skipping with them in the supermarket or across the street as you're doing with your friends now, or I guess, or whatever. So
I
it's
will say I do still try to push the limit a little bit. Like not in any real bad way, but in a sense of like, okay, and now we're skipping, you
yeah,
know,
right.
like
And I
something
bet you do. I
harmless
bet you also do that to some degree on your business calls
all the time.
all the
I
time,
get
right?
I get because here's the thing, I get bored saying the same things over and
Yeah, because and you know what, and they'll get, and if you're feeling it on some level, they're probably feeling it. So by just going ahead and just tearing it all down and doing something goofy, or it doesn't have to be goofy. It could just be just doing something maybe a little out of the norm, or just maybe bringing back something from the conversation from earlier that was maybe a
yes,
little funny, right?
yes.
That's a big thing that we do in our family.
Yes. My favorite thing, and I think you actually just mentioned this earlier too. Um, my favorite thing to do specifically on business calls is, you start the hi, how are you, whatever. Um, and people usually go like, "Oh, great weather we're having," or something like that, which
Yeah,
sometimes that's appropriate, like
of
say
course.
it.
Yeah, no,
And then get
absolutely.
a read from the
People,
person, like, okay, now I need to ask, what's the weather like in Chicago?
yeah.
But my favorite is if I get the read that someone's like a really good person, they'll be like, "How are you?" And I'll just say some random thing. Like the other day, I was like, "Oh, I'm good. I just finished snaking the drain in my bathroom sink. How are you?" And then it just throws them for a loop. But usually it's like, "Oh my God, I was having plumbing issues the other day too." Like it gets it disart to
And it makes it real, right? It's not just a couple of uptight people having a business conversation because by
yeah,
bringing up something that's real, right? Because we all deal with that stuff. We all
yes.
have things like that, and sometimes you might be even eliciting a story that'll come out. Next thing you know,
Oh my God,
you're
yeah.
going down a road. Yeah.
I've had, but I mean, that I also have to reel it in sometimes because, at the end of the day, like I am getting paid to have those
Well,
calls.
yeah, you can't be aloof about it. You could be
Yeah.
fun, engaging fun, but you absolutely always have to reel it in a business setting in particular,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You know,
I, yeah. I had one conversation with this woman and we were 15 minutes into a 30-minute call. We were planning a tea party. I don't know how we got there. And at a certain point, I was like, we should probably like talk about real things. And she was like,
yeah.
do you wanna? And I was like, no, but let's just jump into it. And it was a great conversation. This is years ago. It was a
Yeah.
great conversation.
Yeah, and then
But
you could wrap it up at the very end saying, "Oh, it was lovely having a sip of tea with you,"
party.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking forward to the next time where we get together and and
Yeah.
share a couple of cups of some
Yeah.
tea or something, whatever, right?
I've
You know.
always, I mean, this is now getting educational. I feel like this is like how to teach people.
Well, we don't want that. We don't want
No,
that.
of course not. This
Let's
isn't PBS.
no, let's bring this down right now because we are. Last thing we want to do is make this educational. Heaven's sakes. With my kid, I've been going out of my way not to educate you for all these
It's
years.
been working. I still can't read. The first pancake never turns out right. Let's skip.